Hi guys, this is Team. Welcome to Let's Discuss The Walking Dead. This is for Season 5, Episode 10. Sorry for the slight delay in posting this morning. Um, I have been waiting on a part, and it didn't come in until this last weekend, and it was first come, first serve, and they didn't open up until President's Day. They were closed on the weekend, so yeah, I had to get up there as quickly as possible this morning to pick it up, so. But anyways, going on with last night's episode, I really did like it that it was the first time in a long time that somebody hadn't actually died during the episode, which is kind of good news, I think, because they were starting to run a little low on characters. At least I think so. I know that they want to keep it fresh and stuff, but um, it's kind of like they were starting to kill off too many characters too quickly. At least I think so. So I guess one of the next questions is who's gonna eat it next. So, well, I could say bite it next, but anyways, who is gonna die next? I am not really sure. Because if you look at the group, I say about half the people are kind of vulnerable now. And in a way, if you think about it, everybody is like really vulnerable because somebody that you really wouldn't expect to die this quickly would probably be the next person. But um, I kind of think that Daryl is kind of working his way through. As weird as that sound, I'm not sure about Sasha. Um, yeah, I don't think that she is quite in the same place that Tyrese was at. Even though she has kind of lost more people now, but and Maggie, I think Maggie is at least starting to get to the point where you know she is a little better with the passing away of both Beth and Herschel. So um, yeah, these guys don't really have a whole bunch of time to decompress about stuff. So um, and what a lot of people kind of talk about is the people who are the moral center of the group. They're usually the ones that go first. And from the last couple of episodes, I'd say that the character Michonne is kind of vulnerable. I know she's got her sword and stuff, but she might just walk around the corner and find like Walker right there, and it'll take a bite out of her nose and get her that way. So, yeesh. Yeah. So I think that she is probably the next on the hit list. Actually, go for main characters anyway. So, um, and when they were around that campfire and they were talking, and um, Rick was telling the story about his grandpa and World War II and the Germans and all this kind of stuff, and we woke up dead, or he thought he was dead, that kind of thing. So, um, I just kind of thought in my mind when he said, "We are the Walking Dead." I just instantly had that voice of that guy that does Cinema Sins in my head, going roll credits. At the beginning of the episode, I'm sure a lot of people thought it was kind of gross that Daryl was digging in the dirt and he picked up that worm and ate it. But I know it's not exactly the same thing, but you have to think of it as eating like a tequila worm. So, and with the frog that Sasha was kind of digging the little grave for with her shoe, Yeah, I don't know if it was anybody else, if they would just picked it up and see if it was something edible. Because later on they did eat dog meat and stuff. But thing that kind of went off in my head is okay, exactly what happened to all the water around there? Um, because the soil was still a little muddy, and you know, there were things like amphibians and stuff that really can't survive without water. And it didn't look like that frog had been out there too long. Because you figured if it was out there even for like a day, um, you know, there must have been insects and stuff that would have been eating it. But um, yeah, I kind of wonder what exactly happened to the water. Um, the only thing that I can think of is that for some reason the survivor group that is around there, they kind of diverted the water to go other places, especially into their camp. So, um, yeah, that's the only thing I can think of about why would basically kind of dry up as fast as it did. But speaking of water, I kind of wonder where the bottled water came from. Um, Maybe it was something that was left there by a survivor group that was basically going to be dead anyway. But then I also kind of think that it had to be poisoned or something because it was all neatly arranged and it was left in that specific spot without any of the water bottles falling over or anything. So somebody had apparently just sit there like either like a couple of hours before or maybe a day or so before or whatever. But yeah, somebody just left it there. And now the thing with the barn, I'm not exactly sure which actress played the role. Um, I didn't really look through the credits to see if it was the same person or not. But because the walker that was in the storage space or whatever has such a long face, I am wondering if they maybe used same actress that was in the premiere episode, the one with the bicycle girl, because she also had a really long face. So I'm kind of wondering if she just kind of quote had a recurring role or whatever. But um, and that barn kind of ticked me off a little bit. Yeah, I know it was like shelter and stuff, but you know, in the middle of a hurricane, that thing basically being in pristine shape at the very end, and all the walkers outside dying or being close to death. Well, death for them would be head trauma, that kind of thing. I don't understand the thing about them either all being gone or pinned to the ground or whatever. You would think that one would at least be able to still crawl around, even if it was like just a torso and maybe one arm or something. But yeah, just all of them just basically being gone or incapacitated or whatever. I really don't get so. Um, and what I think would have been kind of a nice touch. Um, I don't know if they really could have done this, but I would have liked it. Would be for them to have a possible escape route. Like maybe like on the second floor of the barn, have like a little window where they could get out. Um, and then it would kind of become a thing where it was like, you know, if we all rush to that little window because it's so high up and because there's only one little staircase up there, that kind of thing, or a ladder or whatever. Do we who do we leave behind to kind of guard the flank while the rest of us try to escape? And those guys down there will probably be dead because they're going to be eaten and stuff. Or you know, would they all stick around and kind of guard the gate, trying to make sure that everybody was safe? Be kind of like a real bonding experience, I think. As for the guy who kind of knew who they were, at the very end of the episode, the guys who looked really clean and stuff, I think that there's one of three possibilities for that. Um, of course, saying that might be something totally different, but these are the three things that just came to my mind when I watched them. One, maybe Morgan, who was tailing them up till that point, actually surpassed them and got a little bit ahead of them, and actually told some people that he had ran into, about Rick's group and that they were coming that way, that kind of thing. So, um, and what would happen out of that, really no idea. And I know that most people are thinking, well, they've got to be cannibals just because of the people in Terminus, but uh, you know, uh, not necessarily so. Um, and kind of speaking of cannibals, I still think that Terminus Murray is still alive. I think that might have been like one of the minor people that Rick Drup had seen before, um, and that's how he knew him was basically because Mary had escaped and told him, um, and she wants revenge for not only destroying Terminus, um, Carol actually taking a bullet and doing some damage to her, and she might have lost a leg or whatever in the process. But she also wants to get actual Rick and cause him a little bit of pain. So, um, yeah, so kind of watch out, Judith, unfortunately. So, um, and then the third, which I think would be totally awesome, is that because they're in Virginia, I think that it would be really awesome if they ran into Clementine. And she is from the Walking Dead video game from Telltale. I think I've mentioned this before. I just think that it would be really awesome for Clementine to run into him. Basically, because well, Glenn and Maggie will know Clementine. Um, they knew her at separate times before, but yeah, both of them have run into her. So I don't know. Maybe that's like just a fan fiction type thing or whatever, but that's what I'm hoping for. So, but yeah. Anyways, that's gonna be about it for this episode. So we're gonna sign off for now. This is Fatal 15. You've been watching Let's Discuss The Walking Dead. This has been for season 5, episode 10, and I will see you next week for episode 11. So take care.